The name of the game on the AP Calculus exam and any AP exam is earning as many points as you can. Just getting as many points as possible to hit that threshold to earn a 3, 4, or 5. So really quickly, I wanted to go through some things that are always on the AP exam and are really quick and easy ways to earn a few extra points and hit that threshold. First thing, average value. You will be asked for sure about finding the average. The average value formula is 1 over b minus a times the integral from a to b of my function. So, if you were asked for the average of f of x equals 6x to the fourth minus 2x squared on the interval from 1 to 4, you would say, well, 1 over b minus a times the integral from a to b of 6x to the fourth minus 2x squared. Memorize the formula for average value. Next up, points of inflection. Points of inflection, the key thing to remember is change. F changes concavity. The derivative changes direction. There's a max or a min there. And F double prime changes signs. There's an actual sign change. It's not enough to be 0. Almost every year you'll be given something like this with a second derivative, and it'll say, where are the points of inflection? And people will right away say, well, 0, 4, and -1 are all zeros of my second derivative. But if you did sign analysis, or you remembered from pre-calc the idea of multiplicity, you'll note that -1, because of this factor being squared, will not actually be a sign change. So the only inflection points are 0 and 4. Anytime a factor is raised to an even power, you will not have a sign change. Next up, for the BC exam, they have the arc length formula. Arc length, just memorize this formula. It's the integral of the square root of 1 plus the derivative squared. It will be worth a point just to have that memorized. Now, if you were doing arc length in parametrics, again, a BC thing, then it's the integral of the square root of the derivative of x with respect to t squared plus the derivative of y with respect to t squared. Memorize the arc length formulas. For the BC, folks, again, if you are having to integrate by partial fractions, hopefully a skill you've mastered, this is where you have a factored a denominator substitution doesn't work. So you split it into a over one factor and b over the other. You find a common denominator. Here's my numerator, and I set it equal to the numerator, and I solve. Again, hopefully you have this mastered. This is just to earn one extra point. When you get to the spot right here where you're ready to actually integrate it, you'll pull your -8/7 out front and have 1 over 2x plus 1. You'll pull your 4/7 out front and have 1 over x minus 3. For sure, this is the antiderivative. But this too makes a difference. When you integrate, you will have to not only have that -8/7 out front, but a 1/2 to offset the 2x plus 1 in your denominator. Think substitution. And of course, then we can make this -4/7. I don't want to go over all of partial fractions. You should already have that mastered. But don't forget that if there is a coefficient on your x, if it's negative or something, that you have to deal with that because of substitution. This is for both AB and BC. Don't forget to rewrite your integrals with negative exponents like this. And then don't accidentally go in the wrong direction on your power rule. Remember, when we're doing the antiderivative, we increase 1. So from -2/3, it goes to +1/3. And then we divide by 1/3, same as multiplying by 3. Rewrite with negative exponents. And then be very careful that you are increasing by 1 when you do the antiderivative. Another thing to just remember is that you are oftentimes going to be given a rate of change. You'll be given a rate and then asked for an amount, how much of something. Remember, anytime you have a rate, if you integrate that rate, this will give you the total amount. This will be a multiple choice and probably a free response. You'll be given a rate equation and asked for how much. Just integrate your rate. Back to my BC folks, don't forget the formula for the sum of a geometric series. It's the first term over 1 minus the ratio. So if I had a series that was like negative 3/4 to the n, starting at 1 to infinity, the first term, well, plug in 1, since that's where it started. It would be negative 3/4. And then the ratio is whatever's being raised to the nth power, that is also negative 3/4. Memorize that formula. You're going to need it on the BC exam. Let's talk a little fundamental theorem, part 1. Oftentimes on the free response and the multiple choice, you're given an area function. G of x is defined as the area of f of t. I would, whenever I see this, write the 2 other pieces of information I automatically know. I know that the derivative of g is equal to the derivative of the integral, which is just the function inside it. And then I know that the second derivative is just f prime. Anytime I see this, of course, the constant down here doesn't matter. Anytime I see that relationship, automatically write the other 2 pieces of information that you know. It's going to help you earn more points. Let's finish with a little fundamental theorem of calculus, part 1. If g is defined as the integral of from 1 to 3x to the 4th of this function, and then you're asked, what is the derivative? Remember, a derivative of an integral is always the function inside. So cosine was the function inside with the bound plugged in, so 3x to the 4th squared. So just notice this just took the place of t, but then we must multiply by the derivative of that bound. Derivative of 3x to the 4th is 12x cubed, and this is due to chain rule. If this video helped you, please like and subscribe for more math help, and good luck on your AP exam.